Good day everyone, especially to Ma'am Maria Raniella Ardiente. In connection to the topic regarding the approaches to curriculum planning, I am about to tackle approaches to community schools. But before we go any further to my topic, let us know the curriculum in the mid-1900s sa sinaunang panahon. So in the late 1940s and continuing into the decade of the 1950s, di pa tayo existing sa panahon na ito, there occurred in the Philippine educational scene an important development. Before, there was a fervent attention and massive effort given to the implementation of the community school idea. So 1950s is the beginning of the community schools. As one views the community school movement throughout the world today, it is becoming increasingly clear that the Philippines is now leading at other nations both in theory and practice. If one may be permitted a prediction, the people in the late 1950s anticipate that during the next quarter of a century, the free world will had the Filipinos' development of the community schools as one of the more significant social inventions of this epoch. So let us read the definition and characteristics of the community school. It is a school identified with and intimately related to the life of the community in which it is located. It is a community school not by virtue of the mere fact of geographical location, but more because of its real and actual function of ministering the needs of the people it serves. So according to the reference cited by Cecilio Putong, 1950, it is a community school, not because it is a school in a community, but because it is a school of, by, and for the community. And in my own perceptions, it is a school that has a high respective administrators, or managers, or teachers, or the principals. So, a model for the community and it's part of the curriculum na tayo ay tinitignan ng mga tao sa labas man o sa loob ng paaralan. Hindi yung nakikita nila na nakipag-inuman sa labas, nagsasabong, at lahat na nakaapekto sa dignidad ng guro at paaralan. So that is why there are a lots of memos of the institutions are being implemented. Provision should be made in the program for the development of special interests and abilities of children that are necessary for rounding off a child's education. In short, the type of curriculum organization most appropriate for the purpose of the community school in the late 1950s, according to Tupas and Bernardino, it is a partial curriculum integration. So these are: 1. Well-defined areas of intersection in content areas or mutual interest for possible integrations, like the health care that provides, So there are a lot of nurses in the implementing units of Department of Educations. Sa second, partial curriculum, clear parameters of performance and agreed upon expectations. There are tasks that given by principals, that given by the institution to consider the effectiveness of teaching, the quality of teaching, and also the timeliness of to finish the tasks. Third, clear and concise language that does not contain disciplinary jargon. Jargon means special words that is difficulty to understand. The next is the graphics or pictures, etc., that enhance the sharing of ideas with colleagues, students, and administrators. So, for example, the instructional materials of the teachers that being prepared. Fifth, common and agreed upon ways of assessing students. So, these are the pre-tests and post-tests. Understanding and respect for colleagues' knowledge of their content area, the very important one for us, for the camaraderie and unity of the schools inside the school. and administrative support for common planning, time to explore goals, develop courses, and help in resolving administrative or political barriers. So that was Topas and Bernardino with regards to the community schools. So let us now read the community schools in action. No? Two schools both in Iloilo may be considered the pioneer community public schools in the Philippines. These two schools are Santa Barbara High School and Tina Elementary School. So under the leadership of Superintendent Jose V. Aguilar, Santa Barbara and Tina Elementary School became well-known pilot or model community schools. So as the community school movement in the 1950s gained ground, many other community schools in various parts of the country came to be developed. So the community schools approach is not a program. It is not a new idea but rather a proven process that is currently being used in a 5,000 nationwide. It is a unique and responsive approach that focuses on the needs of the students, families, and community serves. Rather, it is grounded in the principle that all students, families, and communities benefit from strong connections between educators and local resources, supports, and also the people. Some schools coordinate with health, social, or other educational entities to provide services on a case-by-case basis in response to the needs of students and their families. So that was the beginning of the approaches to curriculum in community schools approach in the late 1950s. So we will proceed to another historical curriculum in the year 2017. That is K-12 has been started. So in the year 2017, according to the reference cited by Mahler et al. 2017, that there is a comprehensive review of community schools, research identified common features that are found in different types of community schools. These 4 features are community school called pillars. So include the 4 pillars: integrated, student supports, expanded learning time and opportunities, family and community engagement, collaborative leadership, and practice. Next, we have the community school pillars correspond with characteristic of high quality schools. Number 1 pillar, the integrated student supports. It addresses out of school barriers to learning through partnerships with social and other service agencies and providers. So some employ social emotional learning for the conflict resolution training and other punitive disciplinary actions such as suspensions. For the characteristic of high quality schools, the attention to all aspects of child development, the extra academic, social and health and wellness support for students, and the climate of safety and trusting relationships. For the second pillar, the expanded learning time and opportunities, it includes the after school, weekend and summer programs like what the NEMSU and other institution, and also the vocational and TESDA, accredited TESDA, that they are a lot of programs that is in an weekend session. So provide additional academic instructions and other real world learning and community problem solving. So the characteristics of the second pillar, learning is the top priority, and also high expectations and strong instruction for all the students, and including the sufficient resources and opportunities for meaningful learning. For the fourth pillar, family and community engagement, it brings parents and other community members into the school as partners with shared decision-making power in children's education. So, such as engagement also makes the school a neighborhood hub, providing adults with educational opportunities. For the Characteristics: strong school, family, and community ties, including opportunities for shared leadership, and climate of safety and trusting relationship. Then fourth, the collaborative leadership and practice. Build a culture of professional learning, collective trust, and shared responsibility using such strategy. So for example, learning communities and a community school coordinator who manages the complex joint work of multiple and school and community organizations. So their characteristics includes culture of teacher collaboration and professional learning, the assessment as a tool for improvement and shared accountability. So among these pillars are what makes community schools an identifiable approach to school improvement. So the pillars support educators and communities to create good schools even in places where poverty and isolation make that especially difficult. So for the community school pillar it supports effective conditions and practices. So number one, in good schools, creating meaningful learning and well-rounded development is everybody's top priority. For example, the curriculum encourages deeper learning, thinking through complex problem and collaborating to figure out solutions. Second, learning is facilitated by well-trained, experienced, efficacious teachers. So traditionally, teachers work in isolation, di ba? Behind closed classroom doors, but they are more effective when they have ample time to work together by their co-teachers, co-staffs, no, collaborating on pedagogy and devising strategies to overcome the difficulties students are having. So, do you agree that mentoring from fellow teachers is also crucial? So, yes, traditionally, there is no computers in the late 1950s, so they are referring to all to the manual. So unlike today, there are a lot of technologies used, no, for example the computer. So there are fellow teachers that did not hindi pa marunong din mag in connection to computers and other technologies. So, mentoring from fellow teachers, yes, it is also crucial. So, number 3, funding and resources are sufficient to meet the needs of the school community and are used well. If children are go beyond superficial learning, classroom must be well equipped. Schools are also need libraries, laboratories, science laboratories, for example. What else? Art and music facilities, sports and play equipment, and well-maintained outdoor space. So fourth, students get the additional support they need to be ready and able to learn. Fifth, teachers and students must trust and respect one another. So that is very important. Number 6, positive school climate. Those students feel safe from violence and bullying. So number 7, effective schools also foster strong ties among families, community members, and the school. Community members are vital resources for helping the school reach long-term goals and solve day-to-day problems. So what are the characteristics of high-quality schools? So what the 4 pillars of community schools look like in action? So here it is. So number 1 pillar, the integrated student support. So as you have seen, there is a nurse and an administrator that is talking to their client or the student ba na siya. So mental and physical health services support student success. And a dedicated staff member coordinates support programs to address out-of-school learning barriers for students and families. So, nakikita nyo, there is siguro canteen ito. No? For the second pillar, the active family and community engagement. So the schools function as neighborhood hubs, no, as I've said earlier. There are educational opportunities for adults, and family members can share their stories and serve as equal partners in promoting student success. Nakakita ninyo, there are students who involve in technologies using the computers, promoting interaction among families, administration, and teachers helps families to be more involved in the decisions about their children's education. So, today's activities in Department of Education, mayroong naganap na home visitation to their students, especially those the dropout, those students have low grades. For the next pillar is the expanded learning time and opportunities, as you have seen, no? After school weekend and summer, this is the example for the weekend and summer programs, provide academic instruction and individualized support. And enrichment activities emphasize real-world learning and community problem solving. For the collaborative leadership and practice as one of the pillars, so as you have seen, they conducted a meeting with different officials from different institutions and workplace. So it involves parents, students, teachers, principals, and community partners. Build a culture of professional learning and collective trusts, and shared responsibility using strategies such as site-based leadership teams and teacher learning communities. So that's it. For the next one, what happened to the community school with regards to the curriculum after 2017? So in community schools, model based on reference cited NEA 2018, there are 6 pillars. So from 4 pillars from year 2017, nadagdagan ng 2. So there are 6 pillars today. So the foundation of community approach based describes the 6 pillars of the community school model. These are the strong and proven curriculum, high quality teaching dapat, community support services dapat, positive discipline practices, and family and community engagement, and including the inclusive leadership. So the key to the model community success comes from the understanding each of these pillars must be addressed and come together in order to change students' life each and every day. So number 1 pillar for the year 2018, strong and proven curriculum. So the community school model relies on strong and proven curriculum that is challenging, culturally relevant, and supplied each student with the tools and allowed to analyze and understand the unique experiences of others. So according to Andrea Bustamante, the Director of Community Partnership, curriculum is supporting in a learning style, their backgrounds, their interests. So they are she referring to the students and the entire school. So according to Nan Yoriko, the Director of Teaching and Learning, family members actually represents the students' demographic having their inputs, not just about what students learning, but what perspectives we're teaching. So it is very important that the teachers are knowledgeable, no, in delivering the content of the subject matter. So this curriculum was incorporate a selection of classes, including honor courses, classes of languages, the arts, the physical education, and before and after school programs. So also classes for English language, our major subject learners, especially education, no, GED preparations, and job trainings for students, parents, and community members. So according to Carla Harva, the principal of Brooklyn Center High School, what are the academic areas that specific students are following in the end of the day? So, di lang basta-basta magpa-assignment sa mga students, and then those students attend, and then after school homework, help that is subject specific, that is related to the topic of that day. No. So that is the strong and proven curriculum. For the next pillar, the high quality teaching. No? Educators understand and believe that addressing the needs of whole students is paramount to student success, and high quality teaching is an implicit part of the belief, rather than focusing solely on standardized test scores. So educators are incorporating teaching approach that identifies needs, the unique needs of the students. So the focus of education, making sure that students are academically successful, making sure that they are successful in their extracurricular activities. So in the community school model, education are able to develop more their time with teaching problem solving, critical thinking, and reasoning skills. In the community school, educators work together, mentor, and improve their teaching methodologies. For the community support services, do you need assistance with any of the following in or out of your home? For example, number 1, in your house. Ano yung ginagawa mo when you are out of your house? Number 2, getting linked to need services in the community. Not just about academic activities, but bridging the LGUs and stakeholders to engage with regards to non-extracurricular activities of the school, able to donate or can donate, and Brigada Eskwela while fast approaching for the next semester of the school. Their presence is highly needed as the cooperation to the curriculum. And third, help to learn and use daily living skills like grocery shopping, transportation, managing finances, learning or using coping skills, etc. For the community support services, provide assistance to meet these needs. So community support services provides education, linkage, and case management to you, your family, and other important supports in your life so that you can learn to manage and live as successfully and independently as possible. These services come to you in your home and community. Services include skill-building tools for daily living, education about mental illness and medication, development of community supports, and case management service coordination. For positive discipline practices, in a community school model, they are helping in terms of proper parental guidance and expertise of the parents, dedicated to make it sure, safe, and academically successful their children. Teachers as second family in school, and administrators as the driver and planner in the development of the entire school. For the family and community engagement, the involvement of the family and community in the life of the school is a symbiotic relationship that encourages sharing and the maximum use of resources that promote the healthy development of students and the community. For the inclusive leadership, leaders commit to ensuring all team members are treated equitably, feel a sense of belongingness and value, and have the resources and support they need to achieve their potential. So, and that is what happened to year 2017. And another curriculum will change in year 2018. So, will there be a possible change of curriculum in upcoming years? Then the answer is yes, there is possible. 2019 up to pandemic has been rise even up until today, expecting curriculum to be changed in the school, especially the new DepEd Secretary Vice President Sara Duterte Carpio plan for the betterment and development of the school curriculum. So, That was the end of my presentation. I hope that you have learned so much to my topic. These are my references. And thank you for listening.